Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this episode. Welcome to Face2Face podcast. My name is NICOLE KAMWENDO, and I am joined by someone who has avoided interviews for the longest time. Why have you been avoiding interviews, Tonderai?
Why? Most of the interviews, I feel like people wanted me to explain myself, depending on what was going on during that time. But I feel like there was no need to prove to answer to anybody, as I always believe that the truth always comes out. Yeah.
So maybe let's start there. Who is Tonderai Banda? Because we see the lifestyle, we see, you're out here doing the most. So who is you?
Okay. Tonderai Banda is a second born in a family of 4 boys. My father is Jai Banda and my mom is Grace Fatima Banda. Tonderai was born in Zimbabwe. We moved to Malawi in the late 80s. And I remember when we moved to Malawi, we used to stay in Area 23. So moving to Malawi, it was like starting from the bottom.
And in the 80s, Area 23 must have been...
Oh, yes. Yumbage.
Proper.
Yes, Dina Zajan. That's where we used to stay. That was our first house in Malawi.
Okay.
And I remember our toilet in Adibanja. That was a pit toilet, okay?
Nobody would think that. Looking at you, Gudi, that's the background you came from. Nobody would never think that.
But that's how it was. When we moved to Malawi, my dad had to start from ground zero, my parents. Okay. And I remember we would move to another house. Minibus, So it was an experience of life. From where we came from, Zimbabwe, when we were in Zim, we had a good life, because my granny was well-to-do, And then when my parents decided to move to Malawi, as a family, my grandfather didn't support much of that.
Okay.
So you're like, okay, you go in there, that's up to you. You're going to figure it out yourself. And then that's when we moved to Malawi. And my other 2 young brothers, they're the ones who were born in Malawi. But me and my older brother, we were born in Zimbabwe. But my parents, they're Malawians who moved to Zimbabwe back in the days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you do now? I think I've wondered this for the longest time. I've known you for such a long time, but I've always had this question. What does Tonderai Banda do?
Okay. Firstly, let me start with my education background. Okay. I'm a computer scientist by professional.
Okay.
Yes, I graduated from University of East London. Yeah. I was in England for about 8 years. After I started there, I was working for Nando's. Working for Nando's or working for Sainsbury in England gave me a different career base when I wanted to move back to Malawi. Okay, because when I moved back to Malawi, I think that was 2015. So now I've been in Malawi for almost 10 years since I moved back. But moving back to Malawi, I couldn't get a job. Okay.
And the difference also.
So the other thing was the money itself. Okay, because the most jobs that I would get, they would offer me 300,000, and then I look at the lifestyle that I live, I look at the cars that I'm driving, it wasn't making sense, okay? And I remember I had a problem with my older brother and my parents. They kept on telling me, you need to find a job. I said, yes, I could find a job, but I could not get the money that I was looking for, because what I was getting in England and what I was getting in Malawi is not the same.
Very different.
Very different. And I don't think I was going to be able to adjust. So that time I'm staying in a house where I'm paying 250,000, and then they're offering me the pay
300,000.
Yes, 300,000. Okay, and then I think of the fuel of the car that I was driving then. It was almost a 4.5 liter engine.
Yes.
So I'm like 50,000 for my food, electricity bills, water bills. It wasn't making sense. Then I decided, you know what? I'm taking over the business.
Okay.
Which was entertainers promotion. When I was taking over, there's a lot of people resisting. Okay, he's too young and infana. Company, his father, he was doing well. Zikazachi bwana, zikazamayo. People would say a lot of things.
Because in 2015, entertainers promotions was yummy.
Yes, Yamadan. And to inherit, I think, is one of the most difficult things to do.
Big shoes to fill.
So from what entertainers was, you need to take it to a different level. you know. So inheritance is different than you starting something from your own, but something that is already there for you to maintain and to take it to a higher position. It's very difficult and challenging, you know. So yeah, the journey started. There's a bit of resistance in some of the artists who had worked with my father, in some of the companies that were working with my father. So the resistance was there because I was too young.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Most of the big artists were like, ndimwana ameneyo. And my father was too push. Yeah, I went this into the no, but as long as I this and that and that. But what I liked about my father is you'd be like, no, but the last decision maker is still my son. Even if you come through me, you still have to go back to who? To him. So he gave me that power. But what I noticed about power, I didn't want to abuse it. Okay? So I had to find a way to make now these people now to love me, to understand my vision, and then for them to work with me.
Especially given the fact that you weren't there, you were living outside the country for the most of their careers. So I guess for them, there was that resistance of, we don't really know him.
Yes.
And we don't know what he can do.
Yes. You know, so for all those years that before I left, there was different artists that I was working with with my father. But when I left, so there was another gap of almost 10 years outside Malawi. Then coming back, oh man, it wasn't easy.
And the industry was so different as well.
It was so different as well, you know. So I'm back. I'm used to how things were in England. So I have to adjust to Malawi. No, it wasn't easy, man.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Was your father ever resistant to you taking over the company?
No.
Really?
He was looking forward. You know, even before I landed, all the interviews he kept on talking about, no, my son is coming. My son is going to take over.
How did your older brother feel about this?
Okay, I think with my older brother, it wasn't his portion of life.
Okay.
My dad is a lawyer by professional. So my elder brother took over the law side of him.
I see. Okay.
You see, so it's like the whole Mr. Banda was divided into 4 of us.
Okay,
so everybody took over something from him. Okay, so that's the reason they say if you have multiple
sources of income,
it makes it easier. Okay, so he became a lawyer, and then he opened his own company, which is also Banda Associates, which is in South Africa. You know, then I came in, I did something which is not even part of our family, that is computer science. I think I'm the first person to bring something different from the bandas, because most bandas, it's either they're lawyers or it's either they're accountant.
Okay.
Because my grandfather was an accountant. My 2 young brothers, the last born is a lawyer, and the one that comes after me is an accountant. So they took...
Literally following the family footsteps.
Yes. It was only me who became more of like a black sheep and did something different out of the bandas family. Yeah.
Okay. So after that, of late,
Yes.
there's been a lot of attention with what you post.
Yeah.
You've already said it. I'm glad you touched upon this. They say that your lifestyle and what you wanted and the jobs you were finding didn't match.
Yes.
Your lifestyle, when you're posting it, do you post for inspiration? What's the story behind it? Because some say like it's a bit too flashy.
Yeah.
Like you're putting it in people's faces.
No, for me, it's inspiration. Okay. I didn't want to bring this topic, but good you brought it as well. Okay. I'll talk about my missus, Tahera. Okay. I've been with her for 6 years, but most people don't know that. People think
it's new.
Okay. Because when you start dating, that's when people post each other, buy each other stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Honeymoon phase.
Okay. But our honeymoon wasn't like that because when I met Tahera, my ship was sinking. When I mean my ship was sinking, entertainers didn't have good equipment, didn't have a good stage. At the same time, there was COVID.
Those days.
Okay, so now I had to start doing other businesses. Okay, so I started doing produce. So the time that I was doing business like produce, Tahera was there.
Okay.
Timabida limozi, mabida kuchembea kuchimaga ngana nyempa makagula limozi.
Okay.
Yes, okay. The time that my house was locked in Blantyre because I couldn't pay rent, okay, I had to ask Tahera, "Tantumizenta my transport, integrate bus in Zitan and Zivita Kudirongwe." I couldn't put fuel in the car, okay. I couldn't buy a ticket for coach Okay, so I had to go pagameza vachakakwera minibus.
Nobody would believe that.
And the house that I was staying, it was under Knight Frank. My father being the lawyer of Knight Frank. And I remember the court, my father said, your son couldn't pay rent, so we're locking the house. So my father was like, yeah, if he hasn't paid the rent, lock the house.
He didn't bail you out?
No, why? My father.
He let you figure it out on your own?
Yes, figure it out on your own. There was a time that when I was going through that, I started to having that hatred towards him until last year when I sit down and seen everything that I went through, I loved him more.
He was doing it for a reason.
He was doing it for a reason. I remember there was a time I called him, I said, Dad, can I borrow money from your company? He says, yes. I was like, can I come collect it? He says, yeah, no, I'll tell you once it's ready. So a secretary calls me and says, can you please come get the money? The money is ready. When I went to the office, I didn't meet my father. Okay?
It was a transaction.
Let me explain. I didn't meet my father. I go in, he says, no, here's the money you wanted to borrow. Mubwenzalidi. I was like, wow, okay. Mubwenzalidi, yes. So I think I'd said within 30 days. Like, okay, Ndamajandi. Can I meet my father? There was no chance to meet him. I left. And then the 30 days came. Then I got the code, Funanda Mazatu.
Ha! Like a proper.
Yes. We need the money back, and I was like, wow.
Were you in a position to repay it at that time?
That time I was still struggling. Okay. So the only way I'd all the best that I would do will make money or will lose money completely. And I'd wait for Tahira's sister. I got to pocket money from the US. Then it take it into my agent. So I took our business money a couple of times. Because that time I was a business here, Peter Tanzania, and she would go by bus. At that time, I bit by bus. She spent days, and that was the kind of agenda that sister kana tumiza soina ndama ija akangoda tumiza $1 ni matamanga umino kuchako kantandiza kutenga ndama baby don't worry ndama izisi zibwerera ndibase
can never be me.
So there was another time I called my mom. I said, imagine I borrowed money from your husband. He wants it
Your
back.
husband, at that point it was your
Yes,
husband.
your husband. He says, so my mom, remember, you borrowed the money yet? Yes. He says, yeah, it's his money. Give him back. I was like, whoa.
I'm pretty sure Anakarabas goes and I would have
yes.
It's going to call you. Don't be the weak link here.
There was a business we also did with my dad. It didn't go well. I was summoned.
You lie.
I swear, by my own father.
What?
Yes.
And saying what? What did he say?
Okay. They were demanding the money back. Okay. Because of that business. They were demanding reports, okay, of all the transactions that were happening.
So it wasn't just, this is my son. Do whatever you want with the money.
Okay. Then that's not the Tonderai Banda that people think they know.
Because I think that's a perception that people have.
He's the best teacher that a child will ever have.
Okay.
Okay, a best mentor that every son should have. Okay, because with him, and now when I look back, I'm like, okay, what he taught me, if it was someone else outside, it could have been worse. Okay, number go ngongole. Okay, number go to step on people's toes. Okay, I became more responsible. Okay, in terms of how I manage my money, how I manage my time, and how I network with people.
Okay.
So those are the things that I'd learned a lot from him in those years that I was struggling. And I'm happy that I went through that. Because when I came back from England, life was honeymoon. See, I'm back with my poundi, equipment, travel, everything is there. Okay? But if he didn't do that, I don't think I could have managed to be what entertainers is today.
So is that why now when you're posting about your success, it's because you know just how painful it was before. So now it's a matter of kuzipe pesa?
Okay, with that I want to inspire other people.
Okay.
Okay. The couple of things that I've seen young men, mistakes that we do. The first one will be about relationship. Okay. Who you find as a partner that will impact your life.
Okay.
If you find the wrong person, whatever you do in life, nothing works out. If you find the right person, that person becomes a blessing in your life. Okay? Anything that I touch turns into gold because of the person that I have behind me, which is Tahera. Okay? So most young men, when they make that money, zikamba kuyenda. Most women are sintenkazi.
You too, because they can now
Yes.
level
You
up.
wanna get the money, you wanna get the woman that looks like your money. Not forgetting the same woman, that's when the investment started comes from. Okay? Because for me to be who I am, it was now Tahera who invested in me.
Okay.
Okay? The whole time that I was struggling because she was behind me. So she's the one who was investing in me. Now I got what I wanted in life. Now it was my turn to pay back. Okay? To make her the woman that I'd want her to be. Okay? So you can level up your woman according to what you have. Okay? At that time, if I went Tahera, tikapita kaja ku KFC in Lilongwe, I remember. You know, those little bitty tiny things. Timasangalala. That was our happiness. Okay? And that was our honeymoon phase, which was bad. But now I've got the chance that things are working out. I need to appreciate that person who was there for me.
Yeah.
And 2000 bit my wala kumetuchokera. And then you forget that person, umagwa. And you fall badly. Okay, because you know God sees these things. And the biggest mistake in Madam Bit Mavanga is we change the woman, we change our friends, we change the environment, we change everything. My wala change you say about your past. So that's the thing that I always tell people, when you get that chance with that woman that was there for you, and you've got the chance to make her happy, do it. Osakapeza uti andipeze unoslake unofana ndindalama zanga. Akupweteka. Because she doesn't know your struggle. Okay, because when I call her, kutamuza panovazati zandivuta, it will not be anything new because we've been there before.
And she understands that you will pick yourself up.
You know? But if I get someone that wafika zose ziri bwino, she will never understand woman wunani.
Okay, that's a good way to look at things, and I'm glad you have that kind of perspective. Muzimva. My follow-up to this then will be from the struggling days to now things are going so well.
Yeah.
Was money laundering involved? I know it's a question that's just been there. It's been at the tip of my tongue. I just had to ask because it's such a stark difference from going from where I'm a bus bagameza to you now buying a Brabus. What?
Yeah. You know,
what do you say to this? Because I know it's a conversation. I know it's happening on social media, and you've always been very clear with avoiding things that do not feed you.
Yeah.
In that sense, but I think we need to answer it.
Okay. Do you know that the law of money laundering, for it to be passed in Malawi, my father took a big portion for it to be passed. Okay. He traveled around Africa, outside Africa, him doing a research on money laundering. I knew about more money laundering when I was as young as maybe 14 or 15, because my father would wake up 5 in the morning or 4 in the morning to study, about it. And when I'm going to school, he would give me a paper to read as we're going to school about money laundering, So I knew what's all about and the implications about it. So for who my father is, and then for me to become a money laundering, doing money laundering, yes, it wasn't going to make sense. One, I was going to let him down.
And he'd be very disappointed, I'm sure.
The way this guy loves me. If you see my father at an event or somewhere else, he will take more pictures of me than the cameraman that I've paid.
Oh, wow. He's a doting dad.
Yes. He'll make more noise than anybody else in the crowd. Okay? So this thing, what I've noticed is when success is coming, people would always want to find an excuse to your success.
Yes, because I think these rumors became louder the more successful you became.
Oh, yes. Okay? So I think for you to push more, it was during the engagement.
Yes.
When I was splashing the dollars.
Yes. Thank you for mentioning it yourself when you were splashing the dollars.
You know, one thing that I'd learned when I was staying in England is to plan.
Okay.
I plan my things way ahead. Okay. I'll give an example. My proposal, I planned it for 4 years.
Wow.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
The first year when I started dating her, I wasn't sure. The second year, I was getting there. At the last, it was the third, it took me 3 years.
Okay.
When I made up my mind, it was now 3 years. I'm like, I'm going to marry
this
this woman. Okay. But how do I want to do it? That's when I started to plan.
Okay.
So most things that I do, it's not something that I wake up and do, but it's something that I plan way ahead. So back to the money laundering. There was a project that I did for COMESA. Not this COMESA here, but it's another COMESA. It's an international organization.
Okay.
So they wanted me to host an event at BICC. And then these guys are like, I know, I got a contract, and the contract was in dollars. Okay. So when I won the contract, I did. And then the only way to open a USD dollar account in Malawi, you have to have an international contract, which I had. And then I did open that US dollar account. Although I had other contracts like those with UNDP, but I didn't know about the US dollar account in Malawi. Then I opened that account, then I got paid. Then I kept my dollars there.
Okay.
I was keeping them. I said, I want to propose. When I'm going, I don't want to have any problems. I don't have my dollars. Then I applied for the dollars at my bank, okay? And I was able to withdraw them, the same dollars, because I was traveling.
Okay.
I was like, now let me have a backup just in case the cards don't work. By God's grace, the cards were working in the US.
Okay.
When they worked, which means I still had my cash, which I had withdrawn from the bank. Then what do I do with this cash? Come on, it's my engagement. It only happens once in a lifetime.
Yes.
Why not? Let me show my dollars. I said, I've seen Nigerians do it.
You caused a splash.
Okay. I said, I've seen Nigerians do it. I've seen how these people love their women. Have you seen how a Nigerian man spoils their woman?
They spray.
Have you seen how they do it? Have you seen how excited they get in terms of how to spoil a woman? In Malawi, or let me say most African countries, they will spoil a woman only ngadala wisa. When things like kupepesa.
Yeah.
You know? And that comes out, and I've seen some rumors that went through. They said, no, amangurire magamu washwera makazi utwala kwisa zintu. True. So I was asking myself, would I wake up and just buy a car just like that? No matter how, I said...
And the kind of car also.
The kind of car. Okay? I'll give you an example. The recent car that I bought for Tahera, I bought that car last year using these guys called Fast Lane, the guys from Lilongwe. They're the ones who bought the car. That was last year, I think, in October. Okay? It got into Malawi, I think, in February. I was supposed to give us a Christmas present. It's like aniga. New Year's present. So New Year, I was like, nimpasa for what? We didn't have any big event. We didn't do much of work during December, you know. I was like, nah, okay, I'll give her for Valentine's Day. Then we ended up flying to the US. So I was like, okay, since I've kept the car, let me give us a welcome back present to Malawi.
Guys.
But then I'd noticed that most people always believe that you only do good things to someone when you have done them wrong, which it doesn't make sense.
It's a very negative mindset.
So for me, I would never do something good for her during that time. I'd rather us sort it out. Because if I do something good for her at that time, they're going to kumugula.
It's not genuine.
It's not genuine. And on top of that, she'll only remember, like, I only got this because he did this to me.
And she'll associate good things.
And she'll associate with the wrong thing that you've done to that person. But it doesn't only happen to just your missus. It can happen to anybody. Either your mom, either your brother, either your co-workers. Only do good things to them when things are good. Don't do it when things are bad. When they're bad, sort them out in a mature way, in an understanding way. But don't say sorry more in buying things. Okay? You can buy those things. Maybe keep them until things are better, but don't give them kuti azakumbukira kuti "Hey, anandipasa chakuti chifukwa choti anandipangira zakuti." It doesn't work.
I hope mugonveti. It's all innocent. It's not what you've been saying on Facebook. It's nothing like that. So back to you and Entertainers Promotions and the difference that you've brought to the company. We've seen a lot of big international acts coming into the country. Are you behind that in any shape or form?
Some of them, yes.
Okay.
Because I'm well connected with most of them. So I get better deals because I book them more.
Okay.
Okay. I'll give an example. Same with Malawian artists. Okay. If I can call in Malawian artist now, the amount that is going to charge me and the amount that he can charge anybody else is different.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I will book them more than the person that can just call them for one event. Okay. I work with so many companies. Okay. So I can call, I'm working with, let's say, Castel. I'm working with FCB. I'm working with Amaryllis. I'm working with this. So I'll call you. Okay. And then now, Tonderai Banda, that's my boy, because he gives me more events in the whole year. Okay.
So with the international artists, we know, and it's well known. Like there's a lot of resistance to come to Malawi because of payments. How did you navigate that?
With us, as I said, I'm a good planner.
Okay.
Okay. If I want to bring an international artist, okay, I'll give an example. Let's say Fireboy, because Fireboy was very expensive. Okay. But now to get the Forex was a bit difficult. But what I did is, Entertainers has accounts with almost all the banks. Then I have to apply in all the other banks. And then you tell the bank, guys, whatever you can give me, I'll take. Most people, they wait for one bank, which is impossible.
Very impossible.
So you have to work smart, not hard. So most people want to work hard. They don't want to work smart. Okay. So I will go to all the banks, okay, make my calls and say, guys, I'm bringing this. And I'll bring in a smart way. Guys, you know what? As a bank, you'll be more of like a sponsor. I don't mind to have your logos. You just have to be smart about it. And then one bank will be like, okay, we're giving you $5,000. Another bank will be, giving you $10,000. Another one will giving you $15,000. Another one will giving you another $5,000. By the time you get into the event, you're done paying that amount.
Okay, that's very smart.
Yes.
That's very, very smart.
So you don't think that you go to a bank, you get all that money at once with the Forex issue. It's impossible.
So how do you even fund this? Because Entertainers Promotions is doing a lot, yes. But the kind of artists that you bring, that's a big question. How do you even fund it and bring them in?
Mostly when I'm working, people only see the scope. Just a bit of my work. They don't see.
That's true.
Yeah, they don't see much. And I don't post much as well, even on my status.
About your actual work, you don't. You really don't post much about your actual work.
You will never see me posting about steak artists once in a blue moon. Okay? But if you can see how that business has grown in this very short period of time. Okay? Now we're opening other branches as well. Okay? Now we're also a partner to AHG, which is Amaryllis Hospitality Group. Okay, we're the first entertainment company who is part of a hotel.
Nice.
So where Amaryllis goes, Entertainers goes. Entertainers now, it has an umbrella. Now we have the stakeout. We have the technology side. Okay, because I'm a computer scientist. So also
you found a way to bring it into the business.
Yes. Okay. There are big projects that I'm working on IT, which people don't even know about. Okay. But I know that they'll come to light later on. There are a lot of IT jobs that I've also done that people don't know about. Every time I travel, wherever I go, I make sure I use it as a business opportunity. Okay? So when I bring all these things together, including the companies that sponsor us, okay? The difference between entertainers and most event management company, we have most of the things ourselves. So we have our own stage, our own equipment, our own cars.
Of course. You don't have to hire
We don't have to hire cars. Okay? With the Malawian artists, we've got a lot of favors. Because an artist come, you know what? I'll give you free equipment, I'll give you free stage. So most of the expenses have already been cut off.
There's a lot of trade exchange.
There's a lot of trade exchange. Barter trade, even hotels. Okay? So we're not paying for that. So most things are already being paid for. So the only thing that we're looking at is now the international artist. Different from someone who doesn't have all that. So you need to pay for everything.
And the expenses are
And the expenses, yes, you never make money. In those events, it's mostly maybe break even. Okay, you can be as many people as possible you can see in that grant. But when you start taking out the expenses, trust me.
It's achievable.
It's achievable, but not easy. Okay, for us, it's easier because we have, let's say, 60% of the stuff, which is already part of us.
Okay.
So we're only paying 40% of the event. Different from someone who's paying 100% for the whole event then.
So which frees you up to be able to bring in big names, because now it's like, okay, so we've got less to spend on this.
Yes.
We can move this money here.
Here, yeah.
Okay. That's a very smart way to run the business.
Oh, yes. I said, that's why I keep telling people, work smart, don't work hard.
So how did the rest of the company now, like from when you started, 10 years of you running Entertainers Promotions, the legacy that your father built for the company and what you're doing now, how has the reaction been? Because you said like when you were starting, the partners, artists that were initially resistant, how do they feel now?
Now, if an artist sees a call from me, they wouldn't miss it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's gotten that good.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, and the relationship that I've created with most of them, I think is one of the best relationships ever with most of them. Okay. They come, if it's in Blantyre, definitely they'll sleep at a 5-star hotel, which they're not paying for.
Okay. Fringe benefits.
Yes. If they want to eat, have some good food, definitely they'll go to Steakout. Okay. They want to be picked up at the airport. Definitely. We're going to send cars to pick you up. We did that for Jet. If you remember, I bought a ticket for Jet.
Yeah.
And Jet, we gave her the 5-star treatment.
I remember I remember her. Is it her grandson who posted for her? Oh, the videos.
Okay. I told
She was having a good time.
and I went, I like, guys, tell Jet whoever she is, I'd want her to come here and I'll foot in the bill for everything.
Oh, wow.
So I would say I've got the social capital is very important. Like when you have the social capital, life is easy because it's just a matter of calling, guys. No, Tonderai, I owe you a favor. Don't worry. Abwere asa gona kunogo. Oh, outside and down. Take it and take it. We'll sort it out. You know, so it makes life easy. So the more social capital you have, the more you're smart in doing things. You know, it makes your life cheaper. But then the profit margin is higher.
So would you say that you have followed in his footsteps, or you're doing your own thing entirely now with Entertainers? Because it's very different from what it used to be.
Yes. What I did is the way my father was running it, during that time it was making sense. Okay?
Actually, yeah, good point.
Okay. So what I always tell people is if you start a business, okay, you start a business, let's say you started about 10 years ago. Okay. Within that 10 years or 15 years or whatever years you've worked, the environment, everything is changing around you. So there's a new generation that now understands on what's happening. So those are the people now you put in front. Okay. For example, I'll give you Stakeout. Stakeout, I gave it to my young brother, Temwa. When I gave him, I was doing well, but he does it better because now he understands the entertainment, the younger version of what's going on. You know, he brought in all these events. I was like, wow, okay. You know, I wouldn't think of this, you know. So sometimes it's good when you know that you're not good at it, you put someone who's good at it and then you stay back.
Self-awareness, kuziziwa. Baba, this is my limit. Somebody else should continue.
But the biggest
problem comes with humility also.
Yes, but the biggest problem that we get as Africans or parents, there's a proverb.
The irony.
Yes, there's a proverb that they say, an African president.
Yes.
They don't want to leave.
At all. Yes. You can't have the same mind.
You can't have the same mind. You know? So that's the thing that I learned from my father is that learn to give power, responsibility to others. Okay, learn to pass responsibilities to other people. So ngaganganile zonse kuti zikhale izako ndiyesu ngapita patsogolo. Okay, you can be pamwamba paja, but have people now who are working for you. Okay, people who understand the business. You're the owner. Okay, you know the business, but then you need someone now who can run it for you.
That's true.
Yeah.
Speaking of running the business, you've been, as you've said, you've got massive social capital.
Yeah.
The business is involved in a lot of, I'll say CSR initiatives.
Yes.
We recently saw you and Tahir doing the Clean the City run for Habit. Are you having any political affiliations or political aspirations or mayoral aspirations? Do you want to be the mayor at some point in time?
You know,
Because I think that's what everybody assumes. Like once you get to a certain point, you've done all this, the next step is now politics.
if you can go back to my Instagram, when I moved to Malawi 2015, I did a lot of charity work until today.
Yes, you are involved in a lot of charity work.
And maybe this is the one that we've posted the most, or it was out because of who we are now.
Yeah, you guys are the social media couple.
Yes. Okay. But when I'm doing it, it's I feel like that's where I get my blessings.
Okay.
Okay. The moment I help someone that I don't even know, okay, the moment I help someone that I know, the moment I'm there for someone, either I know you or I don't know you, that's how God blesses me. That's how I get my payment back. I'll never look a payment from someone that I've done something for them. It was my will. It was my choice to help them. They didn't ask me. Okay, so I don't expect them to pay me back. But God, He's the one who pays back. So mostly, some they'll give tithe,
Yeah, that's true.
church, and they give back by helping other people. So that's how I find peace, you know. And maybe one day I'll tell you more about my history. Let me just tell you a bit. When I was born with TB.
Okay.
Back in the days. And I wasn't promised that I'll be alive.
Shame.
Because I got sick where that my skin had changed, you know.
This is back in Zim.
That's back in Zim.
Nice.
Okay. I think I remember we would go to Harare Hospital, and I remember on a week, Adamani back 68 Jacksons a week, yes. Just for me to what? To survive.
As a baby.
As a baby. Then we moved to Malawi. I was going right here with Queens, but Queens into Mayanga, you know. But then for me to get healed, we went to, there was a lady, Ankadi, Mayodala. So when she prayed for me, that lady, that's how I got healed. And that's when my mom became a born-again Christian.
Because of that.
Because of that.
Who wouldn't?
Okay. So since that time, Banaba, sinampinda dwalao. Ndikadwala ndekuti either sinagona entire Italy, maybe just a cough. But sinampinda dwala kuti mpana kuchipatala.
Even malungu amene timavutika nawo.
Since that woman
prayed for you.
Prayed for me. You know? And when that woman prayed for me, even for me to come back to Malawi, the church that I was going to, Anandusazoti, you need to go back home. Okay. I said, why? He says, when you go back to your country, that's where God wants you to go. He says, you're going to do well. I said, but here in England, I've got a good life. I'm a manager. I've got a house. I've got a car. I'm living in London. I can afford London. And then he said, yes, so it wasn't easy. Packed my bag after, I don't know, after I was a proverb. I mean, I was a, what do we call it? Mason Pena?
Yeah, the prophecy.
Yes. I think it took me about a year or two for me to say, okay, let me go home. By the time that I was leaving England, I mean, I had a good life. I'm not going to lie. London.
If there's one thing about you.
Hey. And when I had the best life, the house, at work, you know, because mama go come London and you're able to afford the life.
London is expensive.
It's very expensive. Okay? But I was affording to stay in London. And I got used to it. It was my home.
Oh.
Okay? But I left all that and came back home. But when I came back home, and if you see that every time I post, I write destined for greatness.
Yes.
So I put that, I said, God, I'm going to use this proverb and ndizingoyenena and to manifest in my life. And even before I moved back, the morning ngabukira Proverbs, the morning ndibasanzero. So I said, God, you need to give me wisdom. If you're the primary sanami, if you're the one who goes and then the malepiratu, primary, yes, is naende. Primary, secondary, kukonza kwake kuchita kukakamiza. You know, the day that I was graduating, my Angana leader, because she couldn't believe it.
She didn't expect you to get that far.
Shame. Okay? When I was already, I've got a bachelor's in computer science. I've got advanced diploma in business information system. Then I did IMIS. And then I did, I became Microsoft certified. I did N+. Yes. I did. Never to school ijano.
Yamba
kuyenda ndungukosa. But zosiya zono zinabwera because of nzezi mena dani. Nabe mpazija. So there was one thing that I learned from my mom is prayer. Or zinto zandivuta kumana kunobo. I prayed I fasted for 30 days.
Okay.
Okay.
Nobody would think that you're a prayerful person.
Oh, yes. Mina mwinyama fasting. So I had a very good friend of mine. They went on Tandiza. She was like, no, if you're to come up and pray, you can also join in, but you can pray as a Christian. So the Muslims, they've got the times that they pray. Mama, Masana, Mara. So she said me, but you just have to follow the pattern. Then I started doing that. Then as that 30 day, I was like, wow, I was proud of myself. Then I was like, Mom, I want to do the Esther, because my mom used to do Esther. I said,
that is a very brutal fast.
You can do Esther? I said, Mom, yes. That would be my food. Then I did the Esther fasting. Then it was summer, and then we had a call. I have a meeting in Lilongwe. I drove to Lilongwe, and then my mom like, no, I'm going to go to Lilongwe. We see a fasting. I said, okay. I went. I was meditating, preaching Zandano, Dr. Morris. Yes. All the way. Then I came back. That was the second day of the fasting. Third day, the figure. 3 days without eating, drinking, mango pempela. 3 days, and I didn't say 6 p.m. Navidiriza.
Into day 4 now.
Into day 4. And I felt so good.
Wow.
When I finished all this fasting that I'd done since the of water, that's when the doors opened. They opened until, because that time in already 12 was simandi 1 year. When I mean 12 was simandi 1 year, someone would call, hey, Tonderai, there's this business, send to Dente Bangeni. You can imagine 12 was a one, which you're going to no basis take Avanga cancel. Okay. So I went through that time until not Sibija enough, you can know the 12 program. Yagwana. That's when doors started to what?
To open.
But when they started to open, now I had to remember who matters and who was there.
So that's why charity for you is not about trying to build an image or anything. It's just you.
It has always been there. You know, I come from a family that people, they are givers. So it says many do have engaged not haters. So didn't I failed.
Okay.
My mom, my dad always buys cars for my mom. That was Ambiri. I always tell people, the reason I would not respond on someone on social media, because I don't know their backgrounds. Okay? Some of them say, what is this Malimba? Because of their background. Go on, divorces Ambiri, and they don't believe in what? In marriage. Okay? Ena, in Kazi, he always cheats. Maybe they saw their mom cheating on what? On their dad. Okay? Amuna, because they've seen their dad doing that to what? To their moms. So I never judge people because I don't know their background. But I know where I am coming from. And buying a car to my dad, buying a car to my mom, it was a happy, he felt happy. You know, there was a time where I go to Galmoro, Mayanga ended Gamoreja, and I didn't find Gudise. My dad would buy the same car from her. And then he goes and buys a new car and give it to my mom. So it's not something that's new in our family.
How you've been raised.
Okay? For someone who has never been raised like that, they'll never understand.
So maybe my last question, and how we can wrap this up also is, What advice would you give to somebody who faces the social media pressure that you face? Because you face a lot of criticisms, there's a lot of negative things. People talk about you as if I'm a tiwa. And you don't respond on the spot. You're very cool and calm about it and collected. What advice would you give to somebody in that position?
I get a lot of people asking me, Woody, what can I do to be like you? I get a lot. I say, Woody, the advice that I normally give them, I said, Woody, put God first. Okay? Ask for God's wisdom. So says the reason why I don't respond, because I have God's wisdom in me. Okay? I'll not respond to something in a bad way. This is a digital platform. Because I think a screenshot zamuonesa mwana wanga in the next 10 years.
True.
Anatengera kwa bambo yake. Simuona mine bambo yake ankatuwanira antu pa social media. Antu ambiri saganiza zimene zozo.
That's true, eh?
Amata tukwana makola antu, kwatukwana antu, kwaunongera antu mbiri. All those things will never go out for free. They will hunt you. It cannot be you, it can be your kids. Agamani nazoti my case, generation case.
The sins of the father will be visited upon the son.
Yobere majo kalabize. Timolongera Tonderai image. Mumutukwana, mumutani. What Tonderai does is, amabwenza and his success. He will never respond. He will never tukwana you. He will laugh about it. And that's what motivates me to do better. Okay, so those stones that people are stoning me with, I grab them, I use them to build myself.
Oof.
Okay, so
Quotes.
every time I'm talking to Genda Muja, so I was around was a fuel to do better. After I'm Genda Pakatipa, if you see how my life has moved again, you've seen my car park. And to South Zero. With the Gabaganga and Jordani. Come on, here, say you want to Genda, you never get Gabaganga, you You see? So I always say when people are stoning you, take it with a positive impact. Okay. Never take it with negative. Never take it with anger. Because anger drains you. Okay? And I always tell people, if someone like a get wrong and then you keep it, it consumes you. Okay? And there's a consume mujano. Momoti you uzira basogoma kazurwa guyazera zintuzagari.
True.
And you will never move anywhere. But if you forgive them, that power that of anger makazotijan palibe ukubira bachani pasogolo. Okay? So what I would tell my fellow youth is life, you make decisions and choices. And you need to take responsibilities on the wrong things that you have done, wrong decisions. So it says it's normal because I've been there. When I came back from England, I made too many wrong decisions. We remember
those days.
Yes. The
big boys.
The big boys are here. Okay? So you learn from your mistakes. You learn from other people's mistakes. But now, when you start now, I think after I had my son more, that's when everything changed. Because in the Gamamon, he copies every little thing that I do.
Oh.
If you can do mechanic out even by social media and they got one. Mechanic out internet into so kwa muntu because that boy copies everything. Because one day I can say mama someone can keep that because that's the rules maybe 10 years from today and another kadri another ngarwa maya yake tukwa bambo yake tona nizimena ngabanga ndani bambo yake. You know, so there's God. Honor your parents, those that have been around your circle, and in your circle, we kazoda zenzako, we are besajin. We find good brabas. Cut those friends off.
The naysayers.
Yes. But if you tell them I want to buy a brabas, and they all go like, we believe in you. Okay, but I'm not figure in a circles what in the Makaramuja because we love cars. Like in a my brother would always call me, Daddy, I will shop my gum to take one. And I would see a car and then I'll get a calculator in my head and start calculating if I do A, B, C, D, F, G, I think I can afford to buy that car. Next year, go and tango. Or when I went to some shop in Blantyre, I got a suit. So I chose the suit. I said, that's the suit I want. And then the woman like, koma muuza ntengo. I said, no, musanduze za ntengo. Ingondipa sanzi kumuli chani?
Koma salesperson wanje mene. Muhudzi wa ntengo.
Hey. You know? So in that way, muntu wabangaya chani? Undermine. And if you allow people to undermine you because of the price or because they think you can't afford, those people, you need to cut them off. Those are not your friends. Keep, your circle needs to define you. If your circle, you're winning, make sure all your friends, they need to start to win as well. If you have a car, make sure also can imagine the model. It can take long, but you should always keep in mind with and because these are your cheerleaders. If they're there to cheer you up and they're more happy, those are the friends that you keep. I had this friend of mine until today. I was dating this other girl back in the days.
Yes, way back.
And I went out. And I was like, hey, I got ABC. He didn't even hide anything. And the girl was also there.
Oh.
And then he's like, bro, I know that nanane shodo nichikondi. With time was an investigation. So your real friends that tell you the truth. Okay, so you need friends that will tell you the truth, that will motivate you, that will believe in you. But any friend that brings negativity,
cut that person
them off. You don't need that friend. Okay, any friend who two-faced, cut them off. Only keep those ones that are positive with you. Make your circle as small as possible. And don't let people know where you are and what you're doing.
Until you've done it.
Okay? If you management to start a heroja, nori tabanga homework yatu. Edi? Kahani munfezi, mene kama du santu samaziwa, kuri urikashibwenzi huku chanchani. It's already too late.
There's nothing you can say that's
There's
going
nothing
to
you can say.
anything.
It's going to change anything. Even if someone comes and tells me, your wife was doing ABCD, I'm like, I know my wife. Like her and I. She also said the same. I know him. He can do ABCD, but EFG, and you don't have to explain yourself. And your circle, you don't have to. Amazon, I don't know Facebook. But rules, but those millions and thousands of people who think they know you're Yankuraja, don't waste your time with Yanka.
You know what? Tonderai, let's stop here. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have picked quite a lot from this conversation with Tonderai. There's so many quotable moments. I recommend you go back and rewatch and pause. But otherwise, see you in the next episode of Face to Face.